The synthesizers were humming, MTV was changing everything, and radio stations were discovering new artists every single week. The 80s were unlike any decade before or since. Some of those artists became legends who dominated the charts for years. Others burned bright for one glorious moment and then disappeared from the charts forever. But those songs? They never really left us. They're still playing at weddings, still showing up in movies, still making us smile when they come on the radio. Here are 15 one-hit wonders from the 1980s you must hear again. Number 15. Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners. In 1982, a British band wearing overalls and bandanas burst onto American airwaves with a song that sounded like nothing else on the radio. Come On Eileen blended Celtic fiddles with new wave energy, creating something completely unique. The tempo shifts kept you on your toes, and that chorus was absolutely impossible to resist. Dexys Midnight Runners hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in April 1983. The song stayed there for a week and became one of the defining sounds of the decade. Lead singer Kevin Rowland and his band had created lightning in a bottle. They tried to follow it up, releasing more music that got critical praise in the UK, but American audiences had moved on. Come On Eileen remained their only US hit. The song has lived on in ways the band never could have imagined. It shows up at weddings, at sporting events, in movies and television shows. Decades later, people who weren't even born when it came out know every word of that infectious chorus. That fiddle riff is instantly recognizable, a perfect snapshot of a moment when new wave met folk music and created magic. Number 14. 99 Luftballons by Nena. Picture this. It's 1984, and American radio stations are playing a song in German. Not a translated version, not an English cover. The actual German original, and it's climbing the charts. Nena, a German band led by singer Gabriele Susanne Kerner, achieved something remarkable with 99 Luftballons. The song told a story about 99 balloons floating into the sky and triggering military radar systems, ultimately causing a war through a simple misunderstanding. It was a Cold War protest song wrapped in an irresistibly catchy new wave melody. Americans sang along phonetically to German lyrics they didn't understand, and it peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100. An English version called 99 Red Balloons was recorded, but ironically, the German original was the one that became the hit in the United States. It's one of the very few non-English songs to ever crack the top of American charts. Nena continued to have success in Germany and Europe, becoming one of the most successful German pop artists of all time. But in America, 99 Luftballons was it, one perfect moment of international new wave glory. Number 13. Mickey by Tony Basil. Oh Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my mind. If you grew up in the 80s, those words are probably permanently lodged in your brain, ready to surface at a moment's notice. Tony Basil's Mickey hit number 1 in December 1981 and became an instant cheerleading anthem. The music video featured Basil in a cheerleader outfit, performing choreography that combined actual cheerleading moves with new wave dance, creating a visual that was impossible to forget. What many people don't know is that Tony Basil had a long career in entertainment before and after Mickey. She was a respected choreographer who worked on films and with major artists. She choreographed sequences for David Bowie and Talking Heads, bringing her unique vision to some of the era's most innovative music videos and stage performances. But as a recording artist, Mickey was her only moment in the American spotlight. The song itself was actually a cover. The original version, titled Kitty and performed by the British band Racy in 1979, flopped completely. Basil flipped the gender, changed the name to Mickey, added the cheerleading concept, and created a cultural phenomenon. The video became an MTV staple during the network's early years when they were desperate for content and played the same videos repeatedly. The song dominated radio throughout 1982, becoming inescapable. Basil released more music, but nothing came close to matching Mickey's success. She went back to choreography and directing, leaving behind one of the most memorable one-hit wonders of the decade, and a song that continues to play at high school pep rallies across America. Number 12. Take On Me by a-ha. The pencil sketch animation. That impossibly high note. The unforgettable synthesizer melody. Take On Me by Norwegian band a-ha became one of the most iconic songs of 1985. The music video, which combined live action with rotoscoped animation, won 6 MTV Video Music Awards and has been viewed hundreds of millions of times over the years. a-ha was a Norwegian synth-pop trio that actually had significant success in Europe. But in the United States, Take On Me was their only top 10 hit. The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in October 1985 and stayed there for a week. Lead singer Morten Harket's vocal range, particularly that soaring high note, became the stuff of legend. The band continued making music for decades, releasing albums and touring internationally. They became superstars in Europe and especially in their home country of Norway. But American audiences only remember them for that one perfect pop song. The synthesizer hook remains instantly recognizable, a distilled essence of mid-80s pop perfection. Number 11. I Ran, So Far Away, by A Flock of Seagulls. Before we talk about the song, we have to talk about the hair. Lead singer Mike Score's gravity-defying swoop became as famous as the music itself. A hairstyle so extreme it defined the new wave aesthetic. But A Flock of Seagulls was more than just a haircut. They made genuinely innovative synth-pop music. I Ran, So Far Away, peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1982. The song's spacey, futuristic production and atmospheric synthesizers made it perfect for early MTV. The music video featured the band performing in a room covered in aluminum foil, creating a science fiction aesthetic that matched the music's otherworldly vibe. The band released several more albums and singles, but none captured the American public's imagination like I Ran. They became known as much for their distinctive look as their sound. Score's hairstyle was endlessly parodied and referenced, ensuring that even if people forgot the music, they remembered the band. The song remains a staple of 80s playlists, a perfect example of new wave's experimental electronic sound. Number 10. Tainted Love, by Soft Cell.
Tainted love. Tainted.
Soft Cell's Tainted Love wasn't actually a new song in 1981. It was a cover of a 1964 soul song by Gloria Jones that most people had never heard. But Mark Almond and David Ball transformed it completely, stripping away the Motown sound and replacing it with dark, moody synthesizers. The result was one of the definitive sounds of early 80s new wave.
Tainted love. Now I know.
The song became a massive hit, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. In clubs, DJs loved the 12-inch extended version, which seamlessly blended into a cover of the Supremes' Where Did Our Love Go? The combination created an 8-minute journey through electronic heartbreak that kept dance floors packed all night long.
Run away, I've got to get away.
Soft Cell had other hits in the UK, where they were recognized as genuine innovators in the synth-pop movement. But American audiences only embraced Tainted Love. The song's brooding atmosphere and Allman's emotive vocals created something that felt both retro and futuristic, bridging the gap between 60s soul and 80s electronic music. It's been covered countless times since by everyone from Marilyn Manson to Gloria Jones herself, performing the Soft Cell arrangement. But Soft Cell's version remains the definitive recording. That synthesizer bass line is etched into pop culture history.
Oh, tainted love. Tainted.
Number 9. She Blinded Me with Science by Thomas Dolby. Science. The word, shouted by an excited Magnus Pike, became one of the most recognizable moments in 80s music. Thomas Dolby's She Blinded Me with Science combined quirky lyrics with cutting-edge electronic production, creating something wonderfully strange and utterly catchy. The song peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1983. The music video, which featured British television personality Magnus Pike and actress Lena Lovitch, became an MTV favorite. It was weird, it was clever, and it was undeniably fun. Dolby's guitar playing and the song's inventive production showcased real musical talent. Thomas Dolby continued making music and eventually transitioned into technology and film composition. He worked on video games and film scores, proving his musical chops went far beyond novelty pop. But for American audiences, She Blinded Me with Science remained his sole mainstream hit. The song's playful intelligence and innovative sound made it stand out in an era of synthesizer-driven pop. Number 8. Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin.
Be happy, don't worry, be happy now.
In 1988, something unprecedented happened. An a cappella song, featuring no instruments whatsoever, hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy became a cultural phenomenon. Its simple message of optimism resonating with millions of listeners.
Don't worry, be happy now.
McFerrin created the entire song using only his voice. The whistling, the bass line, the percussion, all of it came from his remarkable vocal abilities. The song displaced Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child O' Mine from the top spot and stayed at number 1 for 2 weeks. At the 1989 Grammy Awards, it won Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. Despite this overwhelming success, McFerrin never had another Hot 100 hit. But calling him a one-hit wonder in the traditional sense doesn't capture the full picture. McFerrin is an accomplished jazz vocalist and conductor who has released numerous albums and won 10 Grammy Awards over his career. He's collaborated with legends like Yo-Yo Ma, Chick Corea, and Quincy Jones. But for the general public, Don't Worry, Be Happy is what they remember. That infectious whistle and the song's relentlessly positive message made it one of the decade's most beloved hits.
Be happy, don't worry, be happy now.
Number 7. Whip It by Devo.
It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good.
When Devo released Whip It in 1980, they already had a cult following as pioneers of new wave and post-punk. But this was the song that broke them into the mainstream, reaching number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. The music video, featuring the band in their signature red Energy Dome hats, became an early MTV classic. Mark Mothersbaugh's deadpan vocals and the song's robotic, jerky rhythm created something that sounded like nothing else on the radio. The lyrics were deliberately cryptic, allowing listeners to interpret them however they wanted. The band's image, with those distinctive red hats and yellow jumpsuits, made them instantly recognizable. Devo was far more than a one-hit wonder band in terms of influence and artistic output. They released multiple albums and became hugely influential on later alternative rock. But in terms of mainstream chart success in America, Whip It was their peak. Mothersbaugh went on to become a successful film and television composer, scoring everything from Rugrats to Thor, Ragnarok. The band's legacy extends far beyond one hit, but for radio listeners, Whip It remained their calling card.
It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good.
Number 6. 867-5309/Jenny by Tommy Tutone. Tommy Tutone's 867-5309/Jenny hit number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1982 and immediately caused problems for people across America who actually had that phone number. The song's catchy hook made the number impossible to forget, and phone companies reported that people with that number combination were bombarded with calls from curious fans and pranksters. The band, led by Tommy Heath, created a power pop gem that told the simple story of finding a phone number written on a bathroom wall. The guitar riff was instantly memorable, and the chorus was so catchy it bordered on invasive. Radio stations played it constantly, and people everywhere found themselves singing those digits whether they wanted to or not. Some people who had the number were forced to change it just to get peace and quiet. Tommy Tutone released more music, but never came close to matching 8675309/Jenny's success. The song became bigger than the band, entering the cultural lexicon as the example of a fake phone number in a song, alongside the more generic 555 prefix used in movies and television. People with that number combination in their phone number dealt with prank calls for years, and some entrepreneurial folks with the number even tried to sell it for significant sums of money. The song remains a karaoke favorite and an 80s radio staple, proof that sometimes simplicity and catchiness are all you need to create something unforgettable. Number 5. Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Men Without Hats' Safety Dance peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1983. The Canadian new wave band created a song that was simultaneously infectious and slightly subversive, with its message about dancing freely and not conforming to others' expectations. The music video featured lead singer Ivan Doroshuk dancing through a medieval village, a deliberately weird visual that somehow worked perfectly with the song's quirky energy. The synthesizer-driven melody and Doroshuk's distinctive vocals made Safety Dance instantly identifiable on the radio. Men Without Hats had other hits in Canada, but Safety Dance was their only American breakthrough. The band continued making music through lineup changes and changing trends, but they never recaptured that lightning in a bottle. The song has endured as a beloved 80s anthem, its message of personal freedom, and its irresistible dance beat keeping it alive on playlists and in movies decades after its release. Number 4. Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant. Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue brought a Caribbean reggae influence to American pop radio in 1983. The song's distinctive guitar riff and driving beat made it impossible to ignore, and it climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song was named after a real street in Brixton, London, and referenced the riots that had occurred there. Grant was already an established musician who had been part of the British band The Equals in the 60s. Electric Avenue showcased his ability to blend reggae, rock, and pop into something uniquely his own. The production was crisp and modern, with synthesizers adding texture to the reggae-influenced rhythm. In America, Electric Avenue was Grant's sole top 40 hit, making him a one-hit wonder in the States. But globally, Grant had a successful career with multiple hits across different decades. Electric Avenue endured as his signature song, its sunny sound and memorable hook making it a radio staple. The guitar riff alone is enough to instantly transport listeners back to 1983. Number 3. Obsession by Animotion. You are an obsession. I cannot sleep. Animotion's Obsession became a dance floor favorite in 1985, peaking at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's dark, seductive lyrics combined with its pulsing electronic beat created something that felt dangerous and exciting. The band featured dual lead vocals from Bill Wadhams and Astrid Plain, their voices intertwining to deliver the song's tale of romantic fixation. The music video featured the singers in various costumes and settings, from ancient Egypt to outer space, creating a visually striking accompaniment to the song's dramatic sound. Animotion tried to follow up with more synth-pop tracks, but nothing matched Obsession's success. The song became their defining moment, a perfect encapsulation of mid-80s dance pop. Its themes of desire and obsession, delivered with just the right amount of 80s excess, made it memorable. The song has been covered and sampled numerous times, testament to its enduring appeal. Number 2. I Melt With You by Modern English. Modern English's I Melt With You had a unique journey to becoming a beloved classic. The song only reached number 78 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1983, but it became a staple on alternative radio and in John Hughes films. Its dreamy, romantic sound and introspective lyrics resonated with a generation.
You've seen the difference and it's getting better.
The song's production captured the atmospheric side of new wave perfectly. Robbie Gray's vocals floated over layers of guitars and synthesizers, creating something that felt both melancholic and hopeful. The lyrics, which many interpreted as a romantic sentiment, were actually about a couple making love as nuclear bombs fell. That darker subtext was lost on most listeners, who simply heard a beautiful love song.
Dream of better lives, the kind which never hits.
I Melt With You became a bigger hit through repeated exposure over the years. It appeared in countless films and TV shows, introducing it to new generations. Modern English never had another charting hit in America, but I Melt With You gave them immortality. The song remains a touchstone of 80s alternative rock, beloved for its emotional resonance and lush production.
I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Number 1. Maniac by Michael Sembello.
She's a maniac, maniac on the floor.
Flashdance was one of the biggest films of 1983, and Michael Sembello's Maniac was one of its most memorable songs. The track peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won a Grammy nomination. Its high-energy, synth-driven sound perfectly captured the film's themes of passion and dedication.
She's dancing like she's never danced before.
What many people don't know is that Maniac was originally written for a horror film. Sembello had to rewrite the lyrics to fit Flashdance, transforming a song about a serial killer into an anthem about someone consumed by their desire to dance. The frantic energy remained, giving the song an edge that set it apart from other movie soundtrack fare.
Push up the world, but there's always a chance if the hunger stays.
Sembello was a talented musician who had worked with Stevie Wonder and other major artists. But as a solo artist, Maniac was his only top 40 hit. The song became inextricably linked with Flashdance, its driving beat and soaring vocals embodying the 80s emphasis on ambition and self-expression. Every time someone mentions leg warmers or dance montages, Maniac isn't far behind.
She's a maniac, maniac on the floor.
These 15 songs represent just a fraction of the one-hit wonders that made the 80s such a remarkable decade for music. Each artist had their moment, their brief time in the spotlight, when everything clicked and they created something that connected with millions of people. The fact that they never repeated that success doesn't diminish what they achieved. These songs have outlived countless hits by more established artists. They've played at weddings and parties for 40 years. They've been featured in films and television shows, introducing them to generations who weren't even alive when they first topped the charts. The 80s were a perfect storm for one-hit wonders. MTV gave visual artists a platform they'd never had before. New technology made it possible for small bands to create professional-sounding recordings. Record labels were willing to take chances on unconventional acts. All of these factors combined to create an era when a band could come out of nowhere, have one massive hit, and then disappear just as quickly. But they didn't really disappear, did they? These songs are still with us. Come on Eileen still fills dance floors. Take on Me still makes people try to hit that high note. Don't Worry, Be Happy still makes people smile. These artists created something that transcended their brief moment of fame. They gave us songs that became part of the soundtrack of our lives, permanent fixtures in the collective memory of everyone who lived through that extraordinary decade. So the next time one of these songs comes on the radio or shows up on your playlist, don't skip it. Let yourself be transported back to a time when synthesizers ruled the airwaves, music videos were an art form, and anything seemed possible. These one-hit wonders weren't failures. They were lightning in a bottle, perfect moments captured in 3 or 4 minutes of musical magic. And we're all richer for having them. If you enjoyed this nostalgic journey through the 80s, please like and subscribe to our channel for more trips down memory lane with the music that defined our generation.